like the video.
I just want to kick this episode off with a little disclaimer because I know some people have this attitude where if you say something they don't like, their immediate reaction is,
I'm gonna sue.
And that's lame.
I'm gonna sue.
I'm speculating based off of publicly available information. I'm not claiming anything I'm about to say is 100% fact. I will be very clear about what is verifiable and what is opinion. That being said, Drake and Akademiks are out here looking like absolute wing-wongs.
Derapy.
A person on Twitter who goes by CloudKingXX put together a thread titled, How Drake Getting Caught Lying Destroyed DJ Akademiks' Credibility in Just 24 Hours. All you need to know about DJ Akademiks is that he streams, he's an alleged hip-hop journalist, and he's in love with Aubrey Drake Graham. That is not hearsay, that is documented.
My top 5 is Drake.
Enough of that.
This Twitter thread begins May 29th, 2023. Chris Blake Griffith, a clothing designer, was attacked and robbed by the brother of Stephon Diggs, who's a professional football player, and two friends. Stephon Diggs apparently tried to make a move on Chris, and Chris turned him down. So Diggs sent his brother and his friends to take him out. Allegedly. Now, there is a video in this thread, and I'm not going to show it to you because,
one,
if you want to go see it, you can watch it yourself. And two, this is a podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Now, enter Drake. I know what you're thinking. What does Drake have to do with this? Well, Chris has designed clothing for Drake for his OVO brand in the past, and they have some history. Drake apparently, reportedly, has some evidence of some sort that will help Chris further his legal battle against Stephon Diggs. So Chris asked Drake for help, but Drake declined. Now, I know some people might be wondering, why would he ask Drake for help? Well, it sounds like, one, Drake might actually have some potential physical evidence on Stephon Diggs. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to the leaked DMs. Two, Drake is a huge figure. If Chris is trying to sway public opinion and has the backing of somebody with hundreds of millions of followers like Drake, that could potentially help him. Now, according to this post, apparently the interaction got pretty heated, so let's take a look at these DMs that are allegedly between Chris and Drake. Now, I have to lend a little bit of credibility personally from myself towards Chris for leaking this because the glazing that is going on from him to Drake is something that you could not get Batman to have me admit, okay? Here's what Chris says. Damn, gang. Unfollowed me from college days playing Views on repeat with the volume turned all the way down in my sleep in hopes of helping you attain another number one, to tatting the owl on my skin. From standing outside your shows in the cold with my baby broski whose OVO deal fell through the cracks after coming to Toronto to link 40 at Soda Studios, to arguing with Gervonta about charging $0 to put the OVO owl patch on the shorts when he fought on the Mayweather vs. McGregor undercard, simply because I saw the vision. This man publicly admitted to playing Views on silent as he slept to try and help Drake get a number one, okay? I personally don't believe he would make this shit up. I would never admit this. But he continues. Even when I flew from Baltimore to LA and dropped the shorts off to you, my personal team at GTD said I was dick riding when I was merely showing love as I paid for the framing, my flights and lodging out of my own pocket because G was against it. I'm not your op, champ. You hurt a fan today, broski. God bless. Hope your best days are ahead. Forever grateful, CB. Chris says that he sent this to Drake because Drake simply unfollowed him on Instagram. I had no idea that the Drake follow meant this much to people. But if they're sending messages like this because Drake unfollowed them, I don't even have words for it, bro. It just couldn't be me. Now, Drake allegedly responds by saying this. You asking me to post a tape about you ratting on people, G? I just don't really come from a family or a friend group or a city where that's acceptable. I live by a code that's become law. We all just gotta deal with our own shit off of here. Not telling you to be no super gangster or tell you what to do, but it made me feel super weird. You would think I would be into supporting that type of shit. Crody? I added the Crody. Okay, look.
Where?
Drake, for all intents and purposes, first of all, I personally believe that this is Drake. It sounds kind of like him, the way that he talks. I even like the way that he says, I'm not telling you to be super gangster. You just made me feel super weird. I just wouldn't be into supporting that because this guy basically wants Drake to help him expose this tape of Stefan Diggs doing some weird stuff because he thinks it'll help him in his case. I personally don't care about what Stefan Diggs gets up to. I truly don't care at all. Now, this is how Chris responds. A nigga tried me on some gay shit while I was designing his collections and styling him. Stefan Diggs. I didn't go. And then he sent 2 niggas to off me at my crib to suppress his secret. That's not ratting, champ. I survived the hit, and he had money on my head, so I spoke up. Now, this is just me, the Derapy guy, speaking here. Personally, generally, tattletaling, not cool. But if people are trying to snatch your soul, I think it's fair to say you should probably inform somebody about that. So I feel you, Chris, on that joint. But Chris then says this, which I think is a fascinating pull. He says, that's like me telling you that you ratted for pulling Universal's card because they played with you in front of the entire world. Now, this is Chris bringing up the public lawsuit that Drake currently has against Universal Music Group for promoting and not stopping the release of Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. This is how Drake would allegedly respond to that assertion. I mean, I don't know no details, fam. I'm just showing you outside perception. I think there's better ways to go about it, is my opinion. Me and Universal is like if Nike was funding a campaign about LeBron cheating on his wife, not Adidas or Reebok, Nike. The company he been with since he started. My situation is not no street shit. Everybody before me that tried the label was too eccentric, so they wrote them off as crazy and they never had to pay for their sins or mistakes. I'm going to change that and make the building a safer place for every artist moving forward. Your shit is personal and involves violence, and I just think the way you're doing it makes you look crazy. That's my opinion, and you don't need to listen to it. I just think if all you are saying is true, there's better ways to handle it other than dropping a tape. Now, first of all, I just want to say off the bat, just one black dude with a YouTube channel that's just yapping on a podcast, right? The idea that this entire conversation is completely fabricated kind of blows my mind because, first of all, you have a dude just deciding to publicly out the fact that he is like a Hall of Fame level Drake Glazer that is extremely upset because when he asked his GOAT for help, he not only declined the offer, but called him a rat and unfollowed him. These are like a very specific set of circumstances. Now, let's assume that this is Drake because I think that it is. And I just think that his take on why he is suing Universal is actually not terrible. Like, even the analogy that he draws, I think it is absolutely insane for him to unprovoked bring up LeBron cheating on his wife, which I don't believe is true, and I don't think Drake is saying it's true. But it is kind of an interesting comparison. Like, LeBron is signed to Nike. Could you imagine Nike running a campaign about how LeBron is cheating on his wife? That would be insane, right? Drake is basically saying, I'm signed to Universal Music Group and they are promoting a song that's calling me a diddler. That's insane. I want to sue. Now, if we all didn't have access to the internet and had been like memory wiped for the past year or just completely didn't know about the existence of Drake's stupid diss tracks where he is accusing Kendrick of beating his wife and his wife having an illegitimate child and a number of other things, like Drake saying that he planted the information. Now, if all of that stuff didn't exist, Drake would have a great case, but that's besides the point. I also think it's important to bring up the fact that Drake's saying he wants to hold the label accountable, which I just think is interesting because if Drake won the beef, if when he dropped Family Matters in the Heart Part 6, the majority of people thought he won, first of all, what kind of world will we live in? But also, if he won the beef, if his songs had more streams, if the pop-out show didn't happen, do we actually think Drake would still sue because he cares so much about artists being backed by their label? I don't think so. But let's just move on from that point, okay? Drake is a clown for suing, but we already know that. That's not why you're here. In tweets that are still up as I record this, DJ Akademiks says, these are fake DMs. Drake called Buddy a rat. He got mad and made up some fake DM to try to make the blogs and go viral. End of story. Then he includes source the boy. Basically, DJ Akademiks is claiming that he heard from Aubrey Drake Graham himself that these DMs, this conversation is entirely fake. Now, let me ask you this. When I went through that conversation, did any of that sound like completely unbelievable stuff? I mean, Drake's perspective on the lawsuit, this guy admitting that he is a crazy, glazing OV-ho bot. Like, I just feel like that guy choosing to release proof that he is literally begging for Drake's mercy and affection solely because Drake unfollowed him and refused to help him with this case. I just feel like you wouldn't do that to yourself. I don't think that's like a cool way to get famous, in my opinion. But DJ Akademiks is saying everything that I just read you is not real. Now, this is where it gets really funny. Most news outlets that had reported on this story of these DM leaks, they actually took DJ Akademiks' word for it. They were like, well, he said that Drake literally told him that it was fake. It must be fake. We were tripping. Now, here's the difference between Derapy and these so-called journalists, okay? I like to operate in this realm of common sense, okay? First of all, the DMs seem believable, but if you don't want to just take my word for it, the man himself, Chris, posted a screen recording of him going to Drake's profile, going to their DMs, sliding all up and down the messages, and he goes way, way, way farther in the screen recording to show that the conversation is even longer than I had previously stated earlier in this episode. Now, if you want to assume that this Chris gentleman has access to this impeccable Photoshop or video editing processes to make up this entirely fabricated conversation where he honestly doesn't even come out looking that good, and if anything is putting himself in more danger by releasing this stuff, okay, that's your opinion, but my opinion is that DJ Akademiks confidently tweeted within 48 hours saying that none of this stuff was true, and then was disproven almost immediately. And this proves a number of things. One, Drake is straight up lying to DJ Akademiks and using him to push propaganda that makes him look better. He's literally his personal PR mouthpiece. Two, Drake sees everything, hears everything, and immediately thinks, how can I get this off me? Instead of hiring a real PR team or making a statement himself, he decides to use DJ Akademiks. Also, DJ Akademiks is an absolute loser, not real journalist, completely biased and compromised. Some of us, the guy that runs the Derapy YouTube channel, actually went to school for journalism, and here's what the responsible thing that DJ Akademiks would do. One, if you're going to have correspondence, interaction with Drake about this specific story, maybe ask Drake for proof that it's not true. Also ask Drake, hey, if I post this to my Twitter, is there any chance that this guy is going to post a screen recording that's going to immediately disprove what we're saying? Because that might kind of fuck up my credibility, Drake. Akademiks doesn't think to do any of this. Akademiks is just like, well, the boy said it's not true, so I guess it's not true. Bozo. Clown.
Wing Wong.
I side with this Chris dude, not because I think he's a good person or he has a solid case or I'm trying to help protect him from Stefan Diggs' wrath, apparently, allegedly, reportedly. I don't care about any of that stuff. The point of this is to let you all know that Drake and Akademiks are complete clown jobs, and this is just another example of that. I will leave links to all this stuff in the description and the pinned comment. If you're a fan of Drake, if you're a fan of Akademiks and you stumbled upon this episode of my fun little show, please by all means leave your best defenses in the comments. I am very excited to read them because I'd love to know how we talk our way out of this one. If you like what you're hearing, please remember to
like the video.
If you want to support the show, join our Patreon. It's $5. If you want to become a member, it's $1. Join the derps or check out the other membership tiers. I don't care. Love you. Mean it. Enjoy the outro. See you soon.
Crack in my windshield, I'm pissed off. If you a hater, get lost.
Get lost.
Yeah, it's my show and I'm in charge. Don't eat lemon pepper wings, but I'm the big boss. Please cut me slack, man, need a discount. About to jump off the roof, that's a dismount. I'm just playing.
I'm okay.
Okay, but like, are you though?
Sorry for the pause, that's awkward. Start a podcast, cause I knew I was a talker. Yeah, my girl love me, but she's sick of my voice. And you know I'm pro-choice, so she do what she want, huh? Why they hate when I get political? I'm a deep thinker, that's critical. Way too serious for a dude not getting paid. Man, I really need a shave. You know what sucks? Most of season 2 of Dave. Taking shots, but I skip out on the bar. Every single show, I swear I wanna raise the bar. Hope you listen close so you never miss the bar. Say the same thing, but I'm still going.